Wesley Chapel's booming, but is it time to become a city? That's what we're talking about in this video. Wesley Chapel used to be a quiet suburb. Today, it's a powerhouse with over 60,000 residents, major development projects, new hospitals from Johns Hopkins and Orlando Health coming in. This community isn't just growing, it's exploding. But a new conversation's heating up. Should Wesley Chapel become its own city? Public safety to local control of your tax dollars. This isn't just a headline. This could change everything. If it happens, it could directly impact your wallet, your neighborhood, and your lifestyle. Let's break it down. Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital just broke ground, as you may know, on a 56-bed pediatric hospital on 112 acres near I-75 and Boyette Road. That's what all that construction has been. Now, this is huge because right now, 93% of pediatric patients in Pasco County, Hernando County, and Citrus counties have to leave the area for specialty pediatric care. Now, I was completely shocked by this statement and these numbers. Let me know what you think. Did you know that? I didn't realize that. With a projected 12% increase in pediatric residents by 2032, the demand here is skyrocketing. It's just another signal Wesley Chapel is no longer just a little suburb. All Children's will have an ER. It's going to have surgical rooms, advanced imaging, and obviously we'll have some space for expansion over here. And it's scheduled to open in late 2027. Similar to the Orlando Health facility that's opening. That thing's coming out of the ground super fast. It's over there on State Road 56 and is taking shape. It's moving quickly. So healthcare is catching up with the growth, but will local government be able to keep up with it too? So who controls the money? Here's something you may not realize. Wesley Chapel brings in millions in tax revenue. This comes from things like our booming retail stores and malls. We have Wiregrass Mall, Tampa Prime Outlet, and Grove, which got Crate over there. So that's really drawing a lot of attention to that mall. The movie theater is over there. And we also have a new golf course, little putt-putt golf course that went in. So things are starting to develop all around us over here. And Wesley Chapel also has schools and medical centers and a ton of major housing developments in the area. Basically, this is a revenue machine. But because Wesley Chapel's not incorporated, most of that money goes into the county's general fund, which means it funds projects across the entire county, not just here locally. Everything is voted on and spread across all of Pasco County. But if Wesley Chapel incorporated, those dollars could go to local projects, grants, you name it. Things here kept local. Incorporation means local control. Wesley Chapel would manage its own budgeting, zoning, development, etc. But this control comes with a price. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And if you have any questions about moving to or from the Tampa Bay area, or you simply need a recommendation on anything from a good flooring contractor to a great place to eat, we'd love to be your resource of choice. And when you're ready, feel free to reach out anytime. We're here to help and answer any questions you have. So just when you thought Wesley Chapel couldn't grow any more, enter the woods at Wesley Chapel, a new mixed-use development with 300 apartment units and more than 47,000 square feet of retail space. That is gigantic. It's almost another mall. This is going up near Curley Road and Wesley Chapel Boulevard, which apparently is being renamed soon. This was the first I've heard of that. So if you've heard about it, please comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. There's also been whispers of a Whole Foods, the Wiregrass Ranch downtown project moving forward. And it looks like there's a brand new Hooters going in next to the Harley Davidson store that opened recently by the Tampa Prime Outlets. Now, despite reported corporate drama, the HMC Group, which is behind the Hooters location, says they're still going forward with expanding the new restaurant. This should bring about 60 new jobs to the local area here. This location's supposed to be opening summer of 2025, but being that it's April and I haven't seen too much movement over there, we'll have to wait and see. So let me know if you have any more insight on that, and drop a comment below. I'd appreciate it. But it is one more signal that Wesley Chapel isn't just growing, it's becoming a destination. So what does cityhood actually look like? What does it take to make this city or make this area a city? So we would obviously need community interest, an economic impact study, the state mandated feasibility study to show the city could actually financially support itself with the tax dollars, etc. We would define boundaries. We would have to draft a city charter, which is pretty much like a constitution for our area. We would hold a referendum for local voters to approve. Then, if it passes, create a whole new local government. We would need a mayor, a city council, police force, public works, etc., depending on the type of structure that we chose. So there are some pros and cons to this. The good stuff would be local control of our tax dollars. We could tailor traffic, growth, management, just those kind of things. We would keep everything in-house, if you will, and keep those tax dollars going to our local area. You could potentially have a more focused police force and fire protection, depending, again, on the structure that they chose. Meaning, would we continue with the county's sheriff's department and the county fire department, or would we, have our own smaller police force similar to like what the city of Clearwater did or city of St. Pete did in Pinellas County? They have a county sheriff's department that really covers a majority of the county, but certain municipalities over there have chosen to do their own police force and have their own fire departments, etc. But that's something that we would have to hash out. And again, that's part of that feasibility study. Now, risk to this would be startup costs and possibly higher taxes. Nobody needs higher taxes, but it is a possibility. Obviously, there would be transition pains and government red tape that we'd have to jump through. And I'm sure there's going to be divided public opinion on the correct path forward. Nonetheless, this is a big decision and one that could elevate Wesley Chapel into a modern city, or it could strain its resources if the math doesn't add up. So we'll have to see. Wesley Chapel is obviously at a tipping point here, from hospitals to the new housing projects to new jobs, nightlife. The community is becoming a true community and a place to be in Pasco County. But the question is it ready to become its own city? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you vote yes? Would you vote no on cityhood? What worries you about that aspect of it the most? What excites you the most? Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.